And who are you, ma'am?
I'm Rosemary Rieger.
And did you get involved in the jobs crisis issue?
I am. I'm a part of Jobs with Justice here in North Texas, and we're looking at ways to help people, to help unemployed people, especially to change legislation. Unemployment is at, I think I heard the number, 10.2%, and so there are a lot of people without jobs, and they really need help and assistance, and there are ways that all of the U.S. can help, especially with new legislation. For
you don't think this problem is just too big for us? I mean, you think actually that there's something that people can do if they get organized?
Oh yeah, I think there's a lot we can do, and we need to, get people to realize what the problem is, and that there is money. There is money in Washington that, if put to good use, could create jobs and to create, jobs for all these people that are without, and to change this around.
Have you heard that they had programs like that in the 1930s, like the Works Progress Administration, that actually solved some of the job problems?
Yes, I have heard about that and how successful they were.
And you think we should do that again?
Yeah, that'd be a great solution, I think.
Thank you.
My name is Ed Middleton, pastor of First Community Church
In Dallas?
Yes, in a United Church of Christ congregation.
Mm-hmm. So you got involved with this group that's trying to do something about the jobs crisis?
I am. The group with whom we are affiliated, the United Church of Christ, has had a long history of being concerned about social concerns, trying to stand up for human rights, however that looks, trying to make sure that justice is a central issue.
Yeah, but wouldn't you just say a prayer about it and then just let it go? Or you're actually getting involved and going to do something.
There's nothing wrong with praying, except it's not the only model we have. Throughout the scriptures, there's a bearing witness to people actually embodying what it is that God desires for the world, this deep sense of peace and justice for all people, everyone, regardless of who they are or where they are or what they believe. That God desires true justice and peace for everybody.
Do you believe that if people get organized, that they can actually do something about this jobs crisis?
I really believe they do, but I think it's going to take.
We can be returned to a working America where people have a decent chance?
I believe we can. I think we have to have the vision, and then we have to get down and do the hard work, and that's what's really important.
Who are you, ma'am?
I am Jan Aldridge Clanton. I'm a chaplain at Baylor Hospital and adjunct professor at Perkins in pastoral care and adjunct at Richland College in writing.
So you teach?
I teach, and I'm a minister, a Baptist minister.
I see. Have you been involved in talking about trying to do something about this jobs crisis?
Yes, I have, and this Workers' Rights Board, I think, is key to this, and Jobs with Justice, we cooperate. The interlocking injustices of economic injustice, classism, racism, sexism, heterosexism. So I'm
these things go together.
All these things are interlocking, and I've done a lot of writing and research on feminism, and feminism encompasses all of these issues too.
A lot of women unemployed too.
Oh yes, and unemployment connects to health care, and of course I've been involved in health care now for about 20 years as a chaplain, and I see the effects of no insurance, and I've been an oncology chaplain and people without insurance, so jobs are key to health care, feeding children, education. Jobs are key to dignity, self-respect, self-esteem.
Absolutely.
So I think what we're doing here as a Workers' Rights Board is key, and I think it is imperative for all religions to get involved in this also, because it's human rights issues we're talking about and working for.
Thank you so much. Your name?
My name is Brad Walker.
You know something about unemployment right now?
Yeah, I'd have to say I do.
How's that?
I've been unemployed.
For how long?
Well, looking at one way, for a little over a year.
Wow. And so what do you think about this movement to try to get some kind of advocacy for unemployed people? Is it a good idea?
I think so. I think anything that gets people moving is a good idea.
And do you think, do you encourage people to get involved in?
Yes, I do.
You encourage other unemployed people to sign up and start representing themselves as a part of an organized movement.
Sounds good
Who
to
are
me.
you, ma'am?
I'm Isabel DeCampo.
And what do you do?
I teach at Perkins School of Theology.
Teach religion.
I supervise students in their practice of ministry. I am an ordained Baptist minister, and so that's what I do. I supervise students in their year of internship.
And are you getting involved in this fight against the jobs crisis?
Yes, I am.
And why do you think you should, or why do you think other people should?
Well, I think jobs are essential to our life, personal life, our sense of self, our sense of dignity. It's our vocation. It's how we provide for our families. So jobs are essential, and when people are out of work, it affects them, it affects their families, but more than that, it affects our city, it affects our society, it affects our churches. And this crisis to me, this is a different jobs crisis for me. It's very different than other times when we have unemployment. It just seems to me that we need to relook. It's a wake-up call. We need to relook at how we're doing our economic system and our financial system, the way everything just melted down. And now a year later, those who caused the problem are still doing very well.
Yeah.
And yet here we are.
The bankers are doing fine, and it's the people that are dying.
And then, right, here we are, families hurting, and,
Right.
and we have more and more projection.
Yeah,
It
but
just-
what can we do about it?
Well, I think we can do
People
a lot
know
about
how bad it is.
I think we can do a lot about it. I think we need to form coalitions in our communities with all of us and bring our voices together and to really say we need a system that will provide good jobs for all people to provide for their families.
Okay.
And that's what I think.
Sign them up.
My name is Jörg Rieger. I am a professor of theology at Perkins School of Theology at SMU.
It's Reverend Dr. Rieger.
It is actually, yes.
And you got involved in this unemployment issue.
I did. It comes out of my involvement with worker issues. And of course there's a close connection, having work and having no work.
What do you think are the implications of the jobs crisis in America right now? Is this just a passing thing or what?
Probably not. I mean, if you look at how the economy goes, the economy may be recuperating to a certain degree, but we know from economic projections that most of the jobs lost, maybe 50% of them are not going to come back.
50%?
That's what I read the other day. Yes, 50% of all jobs lost will probably never come back as a result of this recession.
Because they went overseas or were eaten up by automation.
I think that's right. I mean, a lot of it goes overseas. Oftentimes workers get played off against workers. You know, they have a job here, they cancel that job, they send it somewhere else, and then workers here feel cheated by workers somewhere else. Well, the problem is not workers somewhere else. The problem is how the companies play workers against each other.
Do you think that this problem can be solved, or do you think it's just going to have to work itself out?
Well, if we don't do anything, I think it's only going to get worse. That's the